Okay, so this is the start of day 69. Day 68, I took a 0. Day 67, I hiked 4 miles into town. Should be rested. I've eaten a lot of town food. And I need to get going. Unfortunately, there is some rain in the forecast for the next couple of days. And I have a little trepidation because the rocks of Pennsylvania start in earnest kind of in Duncannon. Past Duncannon, which is where I'm at. So the elevation profiles look really good, but if you've got lots of gnarly rocks, it can make it hard. So my friend Caboose recommended 12-mile days through this section. I'm carrying about enough food to make it with 12-mile days. We'll see. Today there's a shelter at 11 that I can do, which would be pretty good. The water source is really a long way down, but that's par for the course. And then beyond that, there's another stretch of about 8 miles that's dry. So my choice is like 11 miles or 17. So I want to get going and just see what happens. They're calling for showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. And then maybe some rain tonight, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll be in a shelter tonight or whether I'll move on. Right now the weather's really pleasant. It's like 70 some degrees. It's a little humid, but just got to get out of town, get as far up the trail as I can and see what happens. Definitely not looking forward to hiking in the rain, but it's not solid rain, so it's endurable. So gonna do a stretch of about 3 days. I have, I think, 5 or 6 days into Port Clinton, where I have another resupply box that'll get me through 3/4 of the rocks in Pennsylvania. It's about a 100-mile stretch of rocks that extends on into New Jersey, and so that's kind of the plan. Some days you wake up and you wonder why you're doing this, but anyway, last night I was talking with a couple of through hikers, and I don't know how a former through hiker came through. His name was OD, and started a conversation, and ended up with one of my fellow hikers in a really spiritual conversation. I was able to put on some Zach Williams music, and he was sitting there listening to those couple of songs, and there were just tears in his eyes, and kind of admitted that he was kind of searching for answers that he had been involved in. He called it fundamentalist church for 50 years, and it didn't work for him. And I said, it's not about rules, it's about relationship. And so I kind of felt encouraged that was one of the conversations that the Lord put me on the trail to have, although they seem to be few and far between. Last night, then I went to bed, and I heard him replaying the Zach Williams song again on his phone, which was really awesome. So anyway, those are stories from the trail. We'll see what today brings. If I knew it was going to be a torrential downpour all day, I probably would have stayed put, but I'm so stir crazy of staying put in that hostel that has no windows that I just need to get moving. So we'll see you on down the trail. In leaving Duncannon, need to cross the Susquehanna River to get to the mountains. I've already done a road walk of about 1.25 miles through town, and now get to come up over this bridge, cross the river, and soon I'll be back in the woods. So here, I'll give you a little look what I'm seeing here. It's a pretty big river, so I won't film the whole trip across the bridge because it'll be pretty redundant, but over over here on the other side, you can see Susquehanna goes on down to near Harrisburg and big river. It's a big river, so we're on our way. I think I said it before, Duncannon's about halfway through PA. The hard part of PA is to come because it's really rocky and scrambly, but we need to get going, so we're going to see what it's like. I am up the first climb of the day, really the only major climb. It's just going to be undulating now to my destination, either undulating or down. I accidentally missed a turn and ended up taking a Blue Blaze trail up the mountain, which saved about a mile of hiking, but it was brutal. It was very steep and rocky, lots of steps. Got to the top and wondered if I was going to make it the rest of the day, but the trail, now that we're to the top, has moderated quite a bit. There are some rocks, but so far the rocks have not been overwhelming. This could change at any moment. I also, this morning for breakfast, I ate 3 pieces of pizza left over from last night's dinner. Got a large pizza. I gave 1 piece away. I ate 3 pieces last night and then 1 before going to bed, and 3 this morning. And I have been so thirsty. I consumed, I probably drank 3/4 of a liter to a liter before I left the hostel. I left with a liter of electrolytes and 3/4 of a liter of water. Drank all of that. I stopped at a shelter here just a bit ago. Filtered more water, drank another half a liter, and have about a liter now back in reserve for the 6 miles that I'm hiking to the shelter. I'm finally feeling like I'm not thirsty. There must have been a lot of sodium on that pizza anyway. Wondering about the wisdom of pizza for breakfast, but since I was able to get water, that was good. If I would have, I don't think there would have been any way I could have made it 11 miles on that liter that I have. And there have been days I could easily do that, but not this day. So now, just setting kind of a reasonable pace here, and trying to just knock some miles out. I got to the shelter and said I'd hike 3.5 to 4 miles. If I would have done it on the AT, it would have been 5 something. So it said I had 6.5 to go to the shelter, which is first option. The trail stays good and I feel good. When I get there, it's a possibility I'll move on another 5 miles to a spring and try to do a stealth camp. But boy, first day back on trail after a 0 is often a booger. One, wherever you get food and resupply is always down low, so I was down at a river, so I had a pretty good climb out. My pack is heavy with a full load of food, and your body's just a little sluggish. It's weird. It's like it takes it about a day to get into the routine and knowing that you're hiking. And like tomorrow, my body will respond better. I didn't sleep tremendously good last night, so who knows what the factors are, but right now the trail's pretty gentle and easy and not too many rocks. Okay, wrap up of day 69. Here at Peters Mountain Shelter, which was the 11.2 mile option. Stopped here for the night. I thought about going on, but my options were 5 more miles and I was pretty tired. and I would have had to camp in the rain, and it has been raining on and off since I got to the shelter. So it's kind of a drag sitting up in the rain. I don't know if it'll be any better tomorrow, so I may have just kicked the can down the road on that one. But anyway, nobody here. There was a fella here when I got here at about 2:30, 3:30, that he had stopped for a long lunch. He was going to go on down the trail maybe 7 more miles and stealth camp, but he said he needs to get some miles done. So had this harebrained idea that since there's nobody here that I could set up my hammock in the shelter, because it's more comfortable than sleeping on the ground. So I got it kind of got it finagled in there so I can sleep and not take up too much space in case some other hikers come tomorrow. I need to do at least another 12. I need to get 70 miles done in 6 days, because that's the amount of food I have, so that would be 12 miles a day. So I've got to make 12, 14 tomorrow. Did 12 today, so the pack will be lighter tomorrow because I've eaten some food out of it. And I carried water into the shelter because there is a draconian hike down off the side of a steep mountain. It's 300 steps, 300 stone steps down to the spring. So somebody had left trail magic at a trailhead about a couple of miles back, and I filled up with 3 liters of water. Hopefully that will carry me through the morning and get me going if I'm a little conservative in what I use. So that's the plan. My next water source is 7 miles away. Even with the rain we've been having, hiking along the top of this ridge, there is nothing. So hopefully I don't have to make that run down the mountain tomorrow morning to get water, so I'm being pretty conservative. I was really, really well hydrated today. I drank a lot of water. So I don't need to drink any water tonight. In fact, probably that would have me getting up too many times in the night anyway. So I fixed my food and got it in the oven in the freezer bag. Bacon potato chowder. Gonna have that. I've had a couple scoops of peanut butter and some snacks. And then I'm gonna settle down. I'm gonna be a little bit bored here tonight because I got here early. But I'm hoping that we'll get some rain overnight and then it'll clear a little bit. And let me hike tomorrow in the rain. Let me hike tomorrow without all of it being in the rain. And I'm going to have to, more than likely, I'm going to have to set up camp tomorrow night with it raining. I'm going to have to find a stealth spot and set up camp with it raining. Not something I love to do, but if you want to get to Maine, you have to hike in the rain. So the difference between this rain and some of the other rain hikes I've done is it's 72 degrees. And the bigger problem is not whether you get wet, it's managing, like with rain gear on, managing the sweat. I came here with my shirt was totally soaking wet from sweat being in the rain gear. So it's not a matter of getting chilled or hypothermic or anything like that. But still, once you make a camp, even when it's 72 degrees, you got to strip off the wet stuff, put on dry stuff to get warmed up. So that's kind of what I've done. I've laid my hammock here a little bit. I'm going to eat some hot food, which will make a big difference. Then I'm going to do some evening chores. I need to put my food in the bear box so the bear doesn't put me in a bind. And probably work on today's video. I don't have lots of pictures and lots of video just because it was kind of one of those days. But hey, it'll be something, and you can keep coming along with me for the ride. So I believe Pennsylvania is right at, it's 200 and some miles, and I believe that I've done at least 100 or 110 of those. So I think I'm more than halfway through Pennsylvania. The problem is I'm through the easy half, and as we go through Pennsylvania, it gets harder. So today the rocks were not tremendously bad. There were spots where they were kind of little
kind of mess with you a little bit, but I understand that they get worse. So I expect tomorrow's rocks to be worse. I'm hoping to get at least 12 miles in the rocks a day, and I can do that by walking very slow and gently and watching my foot placement. It just kind of takes a little bit of the joy out of hiking because you have to concentrate so much on where you place your feet so you don't get in trouble that you can't look around too much. But this is Pennsylvania. So thank you for watching and coming along with me on this journey.